Stop scrolling. Stop ignoring this moment. Stop pretending like life owes you something while you sit on the sidelines waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions, the perfect alignment of stars. Right now, as you read these words, your life is standing at a crossroads. This is not a casual message. This is not empty motivation you'll forget by lunchtime. This is a direct, unfiltered confrontation with reality. Most people will pass this by and continue living as if nothing matters, as if they can drift through days, weeks, and years without consequences. But you are about to see what others will never recognize. God has chosen you. And that choice is not a gentle suggestion. It's not a nice pat on the back or a promise of comfort. It is a call to step up, to wake up, to see your life for what it is and for what it can be if you have the courage to act. Take a deep breath and consider this. Right now, the world is full of people who are restless but not alive, busy but not productive, hopeful but not committed. They talk about change, but they make no sacrifices. They dream, but they don't do. And yet here you are, reading these words, which means something has stirred inside you, however faintly. Something has whispered, maybe there's more. That whisper is not random. That whisper is the divine spark of choice, the same force that has moved mountains, shifted destinies, and rewritten histories. It is the voice that calls you to a life you haven't even dared to imagine. But let me be brutally honest. Being chosen does not mean life will suddenly become easier. In fact, being chosen often means life will become sharper, more intense, more challenging than you ever thought possible. You will face resistance, doubt, and struggle, not because you are failing, but because you are finally moving toward the life you were meant to live. If you continue hiding behind comfort, if you keep telling yourself later, if you allow fear to dictate your decisions, you will never grasp the significance of this moment. God's choice is not a lottery ticket. It is not a guarantee that someone else will solve your problems or hand you success on a silver platter. It is a call to responsibility, to courage, to stepping into the fire while others run away. Think about your life right now. How many times have you ignored opportunities because they scared you? How many times have you silenced the small, persistent voice inside your heart that says, you are capable of more? How many moments have passed where you could have acted, grown, and transformed, but instead you chose distraction, comfort, and convenience? This is the wake-up call you've been waiting for. God has chosen you not because you are flawless, but because you are ready to rise above the excuses, to shed the habits that have held you back, and to move into a higher level of purpose. You must understand this. Every second you waste doubting your worth or fearing failure is a second stolen from your destiny. God's choice is not about luck or coincidence. It is about alignment. It is about stepping into the path laid out for you before you even knew it existed. It is about seeing beyond the ordinary, beyond the routine, beyond the mediocrity that surrounds you, and daring to believe that your life can be extraordinary. You have been prepared, even if you haven't realized it. Every struggle, every disappointment, every late night of questioning and fear has been molding you for this moment. And now the question becomes painfully simple. Will you respond, or will you let this moment pass like countless others before it? Will you rise and act, knowing that the path will be hard, that you will face challenges no one warned you about, that your comfort zone will be shattered? Or will you continue living in a fog of indecision, wondering why nothing changes while the world moves forward without you? Being chosen is not about avoiding pain. It is about embracing purpose, taking responsibility, and refusing to settle for a life less than what God intended for you. This is your moment, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when the stars align or when you feel ready. This is the time when your life can change, when your perspective can shift, when your destiny can finally start to unfold. God has chosen you, and that choice is screaming at you through every fiber of your being, through every instinct that says, Do not waste this. Do not ignore it. Do not treat it like a coincidence. Do not scroll past it. Stand still for a moment. Breathe. Recognize the weight of what is being offered to you. Recognize that your life is meant for more than comfort, more than routine, more than mediocrity. Recognize that the divine is calling you into a higher purpose, a purpose that requires courage, action, and relentless faith. The choice is yours. You can continue as you are, letting this moment slip through your fingers like all the others. Or you can act, you can rise, you can answer the call that has been placed on your life since before you even existed. This is no accident. This is no coincidence. If you see these words before October 10th, it is not random. God has chosen you, and now, for the first time in your life, you have the opportunity to see it, to feel it, and to act on it. The question is simple. Will you step forward, or will you step back into the crowd of the unawakened, the uncommitted, the ordinary? Here's the first harsh truth you need to face. Your life is not happening to you, it is happening because of you. Every choice you've made, every excuse you've clung to, every moment you've allowed fear or comfort to dictate your actions has led you to exactly where you are right now. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop blaming others. Stop blaming luck. The world doesn't owe you understanding, support, or a path cleared of obstacles. The world is indifferent. And if you are waiting for it to hand you opportunity, you will wait forever. The divine calling on your life doesn't depend on your excuses. It depends on your willingness to act, to step into discomfort, to take responsibility for your own destiny. Take a long, honest look at your habits. How much of your day is spent building the life you dream about, and how much is wasted on distractions that numb you? Social media, endless scrolling, toxic relationships, routines that keep you small. These are not innocent. They are chains. They are these subtle, invisible forces keeping you from realizing the truth. God has chosen you to rise, to break free, to fulfill a purpose bigger than yourself. And yet, here you are, letting convenience dictate your life. If you continue on this path, nothing divine will ever touch you, not because God hasn't chosen you, but because you have not chosen yourself. Here's another brutal truth. You have been lying to yourself. You have been telling yourself that now isn't the right time, that you need more resources, more experience, more certainty. That's fear masquerading as wisdom. That's procrastination dressed up as preparation. If you're waiting to feel ready, you will never act. God's choice is not about readiness. It is about willingness. It is about saying, I may not know everything, I may not feel secure, but I will move forward anyway. You have been given this moment, this calling, this opportunity, and the longer you wait, the more you betray your own destiny. Let's be clear, being chosen is not a promise of comfort. It is a challenge to rise. It is a call to confront the parts of yourself that you have been hiding from. The fear, the doubt, the weakness, the habits that have kept you small. These are what you are meant to battle, and you will battle them every single day if you are serious about walking the path you were chosen for. There is no shortcut. There is no easy road. Comfort is the enemy of destiny. Excuses are the enemy of purpose. If you want the divine favor that has been placed on your life, you must be willing to step into the fire. Look at your life as it is now. Notice the patterns, the moments where you sabotage your own progress, the times you settled for less than you knew you were capable of. That's not shame, that's clarity. That's the recognition that you are being offered a choice right now. Continue being a passive observer in your own life, or rise and take command of the life that God has designed for you. Most people never get this moment. Most people never see the spark that calls them higher. Most people drift until it's too late. But you are seeing it. That is significant. That is powerful. That is divine. Here's the mindset shift you need. Stop waiting for circumstances to improve. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for someone else to validate your potential. God's choice is a call to action, not a consolation prize. You must move with intention, with courage, with discipline, Every small decision matters. Every time you refuse to settle, every time you reject fear, every time you choose action over comfort, you are stepping closer to your divine purpose. These are the moments that separate the chosen from the complacent, the faithful from the distracted, the extraordinary from the ordinary. And here's a truth that will hit hard. Most people will not understand what is happening in your life. They will criticize, doubt, or even laugh at your decisions because they cannot see the calling that has chosen you. They cannot feel the fire burning in your soul. They cannot understand why you suddenly reject old habits, old friends, old limitations. That's fine. Their understanding is irrelevant. Your purpose does not require their approval. It requires your courage. It requires your willingness to endure, to fight, and to rise even when the world is against you. So hear this clearly. The first step toward fulfilling your divine calling is to take responsibility. Own your choices, your habits, your past, and your present. Stop blaming, stop waiting, stop hiding. Recognize the power that is within you, the same power that allowed you to even read these words, the same power that aligns with divine will. God has chosen you, and the first sign of your readiness is the willingness to confront the harsh truths about yourself, face them, accept them, act on them. And from this moment on, nothing will ever be the same. Here's a second truth that will hit like a lightning strike. God does not choose the weak, the hesitant, or the distracted. God does not call the comfortable or the content. God chooses those who are willing to be refined by fire, who are willing to face opposition, while the rest of the world sits on the sidelines, complaining, doubting, and making excuses. Take a hard look at your habits, your routines, your daily choices. Are they shaping you into a warrior, a leader, a person capable of carrying divine purpose? Or are they keeping you small, safe, and unseen? Because this is the moment that separates the chosen from the passive, the committed from the distracted. And you are being confronted with a question that demands an honest answer. Where do you stand? Let me be blunt. The life you are living right now is the result of repeated choices, sometimes conscious, sometimes unconscious. Every habit, every distraction, every comfort you cling to is forming the shape of your future. If you continue allowing fear to dictate your actions, doubt to silence your ambition, and comfort to numb your drive, nothing divine will ever fully touch your life. God's choice is not a promise of immediate reward. It is not a guarantee of ease or approval. It is a challenge, a test, and a call to step into discomfort with courage, faith, and unwavering determination. Most people flee when confronted with this kind of call. Most people settle for survival instead of fulfillment. Most people never understand the calling placed upon their own lives until it is too late. Ask yourself, how many moments have you ignored the pull of purpose? How many times have you chosen safety over growth, convenience over courage, excuses over action? These are not small, insignificant choices. They are the chain links holding you back from your destiny. And the longer you ignore them, the heavier the weight of unrealized potential becomes. God's choice does not remove obstacles. It gives you the ability to overcome them. It does not promise comfort. It promises purpose. And purpose, by its very nature, demands sacrifice, courage, and resilience. You must understand this clearly. Being chosen does not mean the road ahead will be smooth. It means the road ahead will stretch you beyond your limits. It means you will face trials that test your faith, your patience, and your commitment. It means you will encounter resistance from the world, from others, and, most importantly, from yourself. Your doubts, your fears, your insecurities, they are all part of the refining process. They are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are being prepared, molded, and strengthened for the life that has been set aside for you. Look closely at your daily patterns. How often do you act with intention? How often do you allow yourself to drift, to settle, to be comfortable with mediocrity. The choice you are being given is not abstract or theoretical. It is practical, immediate, and uncompromising. It is the choice to stop being passive in your own life, to reject habits that drain you, and to embrace the fire of purpose. Every time you hesitate, every time you compromise, every time you choose comfort over courage, you are stepping away from the life you were chosen for. Here's a mindset shift to consider. God's selection is not about luck. It is not about chance. It is about alignment. Your life, your choices, your willingness to rise, and your commitment to act determine whether this divine call becomes a reality or remains a dream. This is not about waiting for permission or perfect timing. It is about stepping into the path laid out for you, even when it is difficult, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it feels impossible. The divine does not call those who are unprepared. It calls those who are willing to prepare themselves, to fight and to rise, one choice at a time. Here's another truth that will shake you. Most people will never understand what you are being called to do. They will doubt you. They will mock your ambition. They will tell you to settle, to compromise, to be realistic. That is not their problem. It is yours. Their disbelief cannot cancel God's choice. Their skepticism cannot diminish your potential. The only thing that matters is your willingness to act, your courage to step forward, and your refusal to let fear or comfort dictate your destiny. So stop lying to yourself. Stop waiting for easier conditions. Stop hoping for approval. Stop pretending that change will happen on its own. God's choice is a call to courage, discipline, and relentless action. It is a call to confront your fears, abandon your excuses, and embrace the life you were created to live. Every struggle, every obstacle, every uncomfortable moment is part of the refining fire. If you run from it, you waste your opportunity. If you face it, you step into the power, purpose, and destiny that has been waiting for you all along. The question is simple, and it cannot be ignored. Will you rise, or will you remain small? Will you act, or will you drift through life pretending that divine purpose is for someone else? God has chosen you. That is undeniable. The fire is calling, the road is waiting, the moment is now. And the choice, as always, is yours. Here's your first wake-up call. Stop waiting for life to reward effort you haven't actually committed to. Stop hoping for opportunities to fall into your lap while you sit on the sidelines, content with small victories and meaningless distractions. God's choice is not about comfort, convenience, or luck. It is about action. It is about stepping into responsibility, into accountability, into the fire that will forge you into the person you were always meant to become. You cannot sit back and expect destiny to respect laziness, hesitation, or fear. If you want the life that has been chosen for you, you must be willing to work for it, struggle for it, fight for it, and rise through every obstacle in your path. Look at your mind right now. How often do you sabotage your own progress without even realizing it? How often do you make excuses for why today isn't the right day, why you're not ready, why the timing isn't perfect? That is fear talking. That is doubt masquerading as reason. God's call does not wait for your comfort. It waits for your courage. It waits for the moment when you decide that hesitation and excuses no longer define your life. Every minute you delay is a minute that your potential is wasted. Every day you cling to safety, predictability, and comfort, you move further away from the divine calling that has been set aside for you. Let me be brutally honest. Action without courage is meaningless, and courage without discipline is wasted. Most people believe that simply wanting something is enough. They pray, they hope, they wish, but they do not act. And the world has no patience for wishful thinking. Divine choice is not a promise that life will be easy. It is a guarantee that if you step into it fully, your life will change, but only if you're willing to commit, fully and unflinchingly. Stop measuring your readiness against the world's standards. Stop waiting for motivation to magically appear. Stop pretending that inspiration alone will carry you to greatness. Greatness requires consistency, sacrifice, and the refusal to settle for anything less than what God intended for you. Here's a shocking truth. The longer you wait to act, the harder the road becomes. Fear grows stronger the more you ignore it. Doubt grows louder the more you hesitate. And comfort, that silent killer of potential, grows deeper with every day you cling to it. God's choice is a call to move now, not when you feel ready. It is a push to step forward while others stand frozen, while others remain complacent, while others continue living a life far below what they were meant for. You may not feel prepared, but that does not matter. Preparation comes through action, struggle, and perseverance, not through waiting. Here's your mindset shift. Start seeing effort as your way of honoring the divine choice. Every action you take, no matter how small, matters. Every step forward, every decision to reject fear, every refusal to settle for comfort, brings you closer to your destiny. God's choice is not a casual nod. It is a challenge. It is an assignment. It is a test of your courage, your resilience, and your willingness to rise above the ordinary. And it is in the doing, in the persistent, disciplined, courageous action that you will finally realize what has been set aside for you. Think about your habits, your daily life, your routines. How many of them are shaping you into the person capable of embracing this divine calling? How many of them are holding you back? Distractions, excuses, and comfort are easy to cling to, but they are not harmless. They are the barriers that separate you from the life you are meant to live. You must break them, you must fight them, you must choose action over delay, courage over fear, discipline over ease, and purpose over passivity. Here's another brutal truth. The world will not understand. Friends, family, colleagues, even society at large, they will question your choices. They will doubt you. They will tell you to settle, to be realistic, to avoid risk. That is irrelevant. God's choice does not require approval, permission, or validation. It requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to act when no one else is watching or believing. The fire of divine purpose is not fueled by comfort. It is fueled by relentless, disciplined action in the face of doubt, difficulty, and opposition. So stop waiting. Stop delaying. Stop questioning. Stop hiding behind excuses and comfort. God has chosen you, but that choice demands movement. It demands effort. It demands courage. The small steps you take today, the choices you make when it would be easier to do nothing, the refusal to settle for mediocrity. These are the actions that will transform your life. You were not chosen to drift, to sit back, to passively hope. You were chosen to rise, to act, to seize, and to step into a life that demands your full, fearless, relentless commitment. The choice is yours. Will you act, or will you remain a passive observer of your own life? Will you embrace this call with courage, or will you let fear and comfort dictate your path? God has chosen you, but that choice is meaningless without action. Step forward, move now, fight now, rise now. Your life, your destiny, and your purpose depend on it. Here's a second harsh reality you need to face. Comfort kills potential. It doesn't whisper, it lulls you into mediocrity, convincing you that a life of small, safe choices is enough. But it is not enough. Every day you cling to comfort, you are burying the extraordinary life that God has set aside for you. Look at your routines, your habits, your excuses. How many of them are designed to protect you from discomfort rather than push you toward greatness? This is not judgment. This is truth. Comfort is a silent killer, sneaky, subtle, and relentless. It is the reason so many people never realize their calling, never step into their purpose, and never experience the life they were designed to live. Most people think that being chosen is easy. They believe it means doors will open automatically, opportunities will appear effortlessly, and life will unfold like a neatly written story. That is a lie. Being chosen means the opposite. It means that you will be tested, challenged, stretched, and refined in ways that make ordinary people quit. It means Resistance will come, not to punish you, but to prepare you, to sharpen you, to make sure that what is given to you is not wasted. Every comfort you cling to, every avoidance of struggle, every compromise you make, it is a chain holding you back from the destiny that has been prepared for you. Think about the life you are living now. How often do you choose ease over challenge? How often do you settle for familiar, predictable paths that feel safe but do not elevate you? That is not living, that is survival. And survival is not the purpose God has for you. God's choice is a call to rise above survival, to reject mediocrity, and to embrace the fire that transforms ordinary people into vessels of extraordinary purpose. You have been given the spark, but if you allow comfort to smother it, the spark will die. Here's a truth that is hard to hear. Growth is uncomfortable. Every divine appointment, every significant breakthrough, every moment of true transformation comes wrapped in discomfort. Fear, uncertainty, and struggle are not signs that you are failing. They are evidence that you are moving in the right direction. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you expand your capacity to receive what has been prepared for you. Every time you fight against the natural desire to remain safe, you strengthen the faith, courage, and resolve needed to walk in your calling. And every time you retreat, you reinforce the habits, limitations, and excuses that will keep you from reaching your potential. The next time you feel the pull of comfort, recognize it for what it is, a test. A test of your willingness to rise, to move forward, to act in alignment with the life God has set aside for you. This moment, right now, is one of those tests. You can continue living a life cushioned by ease, predictable outcomes, and safe choices, or you can embrace discomfort, struggle, and challenge as the necessary tools to forge your destiny. The choice is simple, but brutally honest. Comfort will always tempt you, but purpose requires courage. Here's the mindset shift. See discomfort as a gift. See challenge as a sign that you are on the right path. See resistance as proof that you are moving towards something greater than yourself. God's choice is not about providing comfort. It is about providing purpose. And purpose cannot thrive in safety. It grows in fire, in pressure, in struggle, in discipline, in moments where you feel like giving up but refuse to quit. Every extraordinary life in history was forged in this way, and your life is no exception. Another reality you must face: most people will never understand what you are doing. They will criticize, they will question, they will tell you to slow down, to settle, to be reasonable. That is their problem, not yours. The divine choice on your life does not require approval. It requires courage. It requires discipline. It requires the willingness to walk through discomfort when everyone else is running from it. Every step you take into the fire is a step closer to the life that has been prepared for you. A life that is far beyond the ordinary. A life that cannot be lived in comfort. So here is your call. Stop chasing comfort. Stop allowing fear of struggle to dictate your decisions. Stop letting safety, ease, and predictability hold you back from the life you are created to live. Stand up, step forward, embrace the challenges, the discomfort, the fire. Every moment you fight against comfort, you are growing stronger, wiser, and closer to the destiny God has chosen for you. Your purpose demands it, your calling demands it, and your life will never be the same until you choose courage over comfort. Remember this: the life you are living now is the life you will keep if you do not act. If you want the extraordinary, you must reject the ordinary. If you want divine purpose, you must reject ease. If you want to fulfill the calling that has been set aside for you, you must embrace discomfort as the fuel for transformation. The question is simple: will you rise, or will you remain safe, small, and unseen? The choice, as always, is yours. Look in the mirror. Right now, be brutally honest with yourself. Who do you see staring back at you? Is it someone who is living as if they are chosen, as if their life has purpose and meaning? Or is it someone who drifts through each day, numbed by routine, fear, and excuses? Stop pretending that you are doing enough when you know deep down that you are settling. Stop fooling yourself into thinking that half-hearted effort will carry you where you are meant to go. God has chosen you, and the first sign of that choice is the recognition that your life requires courage, accountability, and relentless action. You cannot walk into divine purpose while hiding from the truth of who you are. Here's a harsh reality. The world is not waiting for you to figure it out. Time is moving, opportunities are passing, and every second you waste avoiding responsibility is a second stolen from your destiny. Your habits, your thoughts, your decisions, they are shaping the life you will have tomorrow. If you refuse to take control, if you allow distraction, doubt, and comfort to rule your days, your life will be left behind, a shadow of what it could have been. You cannot delegate your destiny to someone else. You cannot outsource courage or faith. Every step you take, every choice you make, every action you delay or pursue is either building your purpose or burying it. Take a moment to examine your mind. How often does it run wild with excuses? How often does it convince you that waiting is safer than acting? That comfort is preferable to challenge. That voice is not wisdom. It is fear. That voice is not preparation. It is sabotage. God's choice is not about waiting for ideal conditions or perfect circumstances. It is about moving forward with courage, even when uncertainty surrounds you, even when fear screams louder than your confidence, even when the path is unclear. The divine does not bless indecision or delay. It blesses action, discipline, and faith in motion. Here's the reality that will sting. You have been living small. You have been holding back, shrinking your potential to fit into a life that is comfortable and predictable. But God has not chosen you for smallness. You were not created to blend in, to settle, to be average. You were chosen to rise, to push boundaries, to overcome obstacles that would defeat most people. And the first step in honoring that choice is to confront yourself with radical honesty. Every lie you tell yourself about why you cannot act is a chain. Every compromise you accept as good enough is a weight dragging you away from your calling. Think about the patterns in your life. How many decisions are driven by fear, by convenience, by the desire to avoid discomfort? How many choices are aimed at protecting your ego rather than expanding your purpose? These are not harmless habits. They are invisible prisons. And until you break free, you will continue to wander in circles, frustrated, unfulfilled, and unaware of the divine calling pressing against your soul. God's choice is not a passive gift. It is a challenge. It demands that you rise above self-deception, above distraction, above excuses. It demands that you take full ownership of your mind, your actions, and your life. Here's the mindset shift you need. Start seeing yourself as the captain of your destiny. No one else can fight your battles, make your decisions, or claim your calling for you. Every fear you face, every doubt you overcome, every action you take in alignment with your purpose strengthens you for what lies ahead. The divine calling on your life is not a distant dream. It is here, now, waiting for you to act. And the only thing standing between you and it is the choice to stop hiding, to stop compromising, and to take responsibility for your own greatness. Another truth you cannot ignore: the journey will be uncomfortable, lonely at times, and full of challenges that feel impossible. But those challenges are not punishments. They are proofs. They are signs that you are moving in the right direction. They are the refining fire that will shape you into someone capable of carrying the purpose that God has placed on your life. Every struggle, every obstacle, every moment you feel like quitting is a step toward transformation. It is evidence that you are alive, chosen, and being prepared. So stand up, look in the mirror, confront the truths you've been avoiding. Acknowledge the fears, the distractions, and the excuses that have been holding you back. Commit today to take full ownership of your life, your mind, your actions. Refuse to settle, refuse to drift, refuse to let comfort or fear dictate your choices. God has chosen you, And the first act of honoring that choice is deciding that from this moment forward, you will live intentionally, courageously, and relentlessly in pursuit of your destiny. The question is yours. Will you step forward, or will you shrink back? Will you rise into the life you were chosen for, or will you continue to settle for less? God has called you. The spark is inside you. The fire is waiting. The moment is now. Step into it or let it slip forever. Here's a second slap of reality. Most people confuse opportunity with luck. They believe that success, purpose, or divine favor is something that happens randomly, that it falls into their laps when the timing feels right or when someone else notices them. That is a lie. God's choice is not a lottery ticket. It is not a promise that the world will bend to make your life easy. It is not a guarantee that doors will open without effort, discipline, or courage. Divine selection is not about luck. It is about alignment, preparation, and action. And if you ignore it, if you hesitate, if you cling to excuses, the world will gladly continue spinning while your potential rots unnoticed on the sidelines. Look closely at your life. How many times have you waited for someone to recognize you, for circumstances to be perfect, or for conditions to magically align before taking a step forward? That waiting is the silent thief of destiny. Every second spent waiting, every moment spent doubting, every excuse whispered in your mind steals energy from the calling that has been placed on your life. Opportunity is meaningless without action. Divine choice is meaningless without courage. And potential wasted through hesitation is a tragedy far greater than any failure. Here's a brutal truth: comfort, fear, and indecision are designed to lull you into passivity. They make you believe that waiting is wisdom, that hesitation is safety, and that delay is harmless. But it is not harmless. Every moment you fail to act, every moment you cling to ease over challenge, every moment you let doubt control your choices, you are stepping away from the life you were chosen to live. God's hand is extended, and the opportunity before you is real, but only your feet, your courage, and your decisions can walk the path. No one else can do it for you. No one else can fight your battles or take the steps you are called to take. Ask yourself this: how many dreams, how many possibilities, how many moments of divine favor have already passed through your hands because you were unwilling to act? How many signs have you ignored, dismissed, or rationalized away? The harsh truth is that the world does not care about your excuses. It does not pause while you prepare yourself. Time keeps moving, life keeps moving, and unless you move as well, the calling, the purpose, and the destiny meant for you will slip away. God's choice is a call to action, not a consolation prize. Here's the mindset shift you must embrace. Stop waiting for luck. Stop hoping that someone else will recognize your value. Stop assuming that opportunity will somehow find you without effort. Divine selection is a challenge, and it demands that you act, that you rise, that you fight against fear, comfort, and distraction with every ounce of energy you possess. This is not theoretical, this is practical. Every choice you make, every action you take, or fail to take, either moves you closer to your destiny or further away from it. You cannot afford hesitation. You cannot afford excuses. You cannot afford to ignore the calling placed on your life. Another uncomfortable truth: the people around you may not understand your purpose. They may criticize, doubt, or even belittle the steps you take. They may tell you to slow down, to settle, to be realistic. That is irrelevant. Their understanding is unnecessary. Approval is unnecessary. The divine choice on your life does not require anyone else to validate it. What it requires is your courage, your discipline, your willingness to act when no one else believes or notices. The fire of purpose burns brightest when it faces resistance, when it moves despite doubt, when it refuses to shrink under pressure. So confront the reality. If you continue to wait for luck, for perfect timing, for outside validation, you will never rise. God's choice is not a gift you can passively accept. It is a responsibility. It is a challenge. It is a call to rise above fear, to act despite doubt, and to move boldly toward the life that has been prepared for you. Every moment of hesitation is a test of your courage. Every second of delay is a test of your resolve. Every choice to act or remain still determines whether the divine spark within you will ignite or fade. Stand up, move forward, take responsibility, refuse to wait, refuse to let doubt, fear, or comfort dictate your actions. God has chosen you. That choice is not luck. That choice is not convenience. That choice is a call to action. And your life, your destiny, and your purpose depend entirely on your willingness to answer it. The world will keep moving whether you act or not. The question is simple. Will you rise, or will you drift through life pretending divine purpose is for someone else? The choice, as always, is yours.